how do I negotiate the relationship between the finitude I express in the real world and the multitudes within, that's even artfully phrased, by befriending it. By befriending it. You have to decide what the relationship is. So if the many of the multitudes within that have yet to be expressed, if that's a moral wrong and I've decided they all should be out there, or what do I do with them? And if some of them never get to see the light of day, that's a terrible wrong, then you just signed up to be unhappy. We're talking about this, like, one of the classic, we think, dysfunctional beliefs is, are you being your best self? The word best has a denotative meaning. It means against a series of alternatives, one set of criteria will define one as absolutely superior to the other. And our argument is, no, there are lots of good yous and no one best you. I mean, I'm about to turn 70. So should I be spending my last 10, highly productive years totally accelerating into educational reform and talking to all of you? Or should I spend that time, for God's sake, you keep saying fathering is the most important thing in your life because you didn't have one. You're the father of a suicide victim, Dave. You're the son of a suicide victim. You have 11 grandkids who you almost never see. For God's sake, if not now, when? Lean into those 11 lives. Or, hey, it's finally my turn. Do I get to go, get my bareboat certification and start running catamarans in the Caribbean? Now, which one of those is better? Or they're totally different. I can justify any one of them, but the criteria don't share anything at all. How do I think about that? I'm not going to get to be all those people. So the relationship between the finite you that's currently on the stage of life and the multitudes within, that's a tension that everybody really needs to wrestle. And I try to make that tension as severe as possible, because I really want you to think of the world as a very large place and you as a very large person, and the constraints are very real. And all three of those are okay. You have to decide whether or not you think, whatever you think of the intelligence or lack of intelligence or friendliness or unfriendliness or disinterest of the universe and you, do you really believe it was all set up for you to be frustrated or not? I will say design thinking is fun. It doesn't have a philosophy, it claims, but it is cheerful. We start with curiosity, like, ooh, there's got to be something cool going on here. That's a fundamentally optimistic stance. Curiosity is a fundamentally optimistic stance. There is something worthwhile here. So that's a stance we take, and I accept that. Why my one, look, I just buried a woman and she left a bunch on the table, and she said her death, she described it as sad but not tragic. That's a really good place to be. I'd love to have some second helpings, she said, but I'm going to run out of time. But I got no regrets. And if you can get to that place, that's a really good place.